goddess of the hunt, eternally young virgin, like the goddess of war Athena, patroness of chaste women. She is one of the most revered goddesses of the ancient Greeks. They considered their eternally young goddess to be the most enduring and agile. The goddess was famous for her difficult character. Not rarely showed cruelty, but was able to be generous and noble. At the same time, which looks illogical for modern man, the goddess of fertility helps women during childbirth, gives a happy marriage, patronizes all living things. Artemis is the sister of Apollo, the god archer, patron of arts and healer. Apollo in the Greeks represents the sun, and Artemis, the moon. In ancient Roman mythology, Artemis corresponds to the goddess Diana. Sacred animals of Artemis are a bear and a doe. Artemis is the daughter of Zeus and goddess Leto. The mother of Artemis occurs from a sort of Titans and gave birth to the heroine and her twin brother Apollo from the god Thunder as Zeus out of marriage. The jealous Hera, Zeus' consort, pursued Leto. Hera was furious over another of the Thunderer's stints. She cursed the Titanid and she could not bear children on earth. Leto wandered the world until Poseidon came to her rescue. Thanks to the sea god, the Titanid was sent to a floating island. But she was pursued by Python at the behest of Hera. So Poseidon enclosed the island with a water dome. Next it was necessary to persuade Ilithyia, the goddess of childbirth, to accept the babies. She did not agree for a long time, being under the influence of the supreme goddess. However, even this was settled. Soon Apollo and Artemis were born. Artemis was served by 20 nymphs and 6 dozen oceanids. Pan, the god of wildlife, shepherding and cattle breeding, gave the heroine a dozen dogs. The companions of Artemis the huntress take a vow of celibacy and, like the goddess maiden herself, must remain virgin. Those who violate the vow are punished, as it happened, for example, with the nymph Callisto. The girl is seduced by the amorous Zeus, taking the form of Artemis, or Apollo, himself. For this transgression Callisto was either turned into a bear or simply shot by Artemis with a bow. Atonement sacrifices were made to Artemis before the wedding. The name of Artemis in the 20th century turned out to be closely connected with the cosmos. In 1868, the asteroid 105, Artemis was discovered. Later, in 1894, one of the epithets of the goddess named the newly discovered asteroid 395, Delia. The epithet comes from the name of the island of Delos, where the goddess was born. A wreath, a circular structure, a detail of relief, on the planet Venus is named after the goddess. Artemis is the name of a communications satellite launched in July 2001, which was built by the European Space Agency. The night butterfly of the peacocki family is named after the goddess. The meaning of the name Artemis is completely unknown. According to various versions, it comes from the words killer, ruler or bear goddess. The origin of the goddess comes from the island of Crete, where in ancient times Artemis was a bear goddess, hunter and ruler of animals. Hence stems the cruelty of the already classical Artemis. The vengeful goddess demands that the Mycenaean king Agamemnon sacrifice his own daughter Iphigenia. Artemis ruins the children of Niobe, who argued with the mother of the goddess Leto, and began to say that her own children are more numerous and beautiful than Leto's children. The twins Artemis and Apollo shot Niobe's children with bows for this. Artemis' victim was also the hunter Actaeon, who inadvertently witnessed the goddess and her companion nymphs bathing in the river. For peeping, Artemis turned Actaeon into a deer, and he was torn by his own hunting dogs. The characterization of Artemis as a vengeful goddess, bringing death to those who have wronged her, is confirmed by many myths. The goddess on the tip-off of the god of winemaking Dionysus kills Ariadne, daughter of the Cretan king Minos, with arrows for the fact that she married the Minotaur's victor Theseus not anywhere, but in a sacred grove on the island of Naxos. The brothers Alauda, sons of Poseidon, the god of the sea, the violent and inhumanly strong Ephialtes and Athos, threatened to take the virgin goddesses Artemis and Athena as their wives. The violent Alauds threatened to overturn Mount Olympus, the home of the gods, and even once captured the god of war Ares. Artemis ruined both by cunning. The goddess ran between the brothers in the guise of a deer. They simultaneously threw darts at the beast, but hit each other. In love with Artemis, hunter Alpheus chased the goddess throughout Greece and did not get anything from her. When Alpheus appeared at the night festival, which the goddess was celebrating with her nymphs, Artemis covered their faces with mud and silt, so that the hunter could not recognize the goddess. When it became clear that he could not get love from the goddess, Alpheus switched to the nymph Arethusa, but she did not reciprocate the hunter's love either, and Artemis eventually turned the nymph into a stream. Unlock the secrets of ancient legends and immerse yourself in the captivating world of mythology. Join the Chronicles of the Past channel community by subscribing today. By subscribing, you'll gain access to a treasure trove of fascinating stories, in-depth analyses, and thought-provoking discussions. Stay tuned for weekly mythological adventures that will both entertain and enlighten. Don't miss out, hit that subscribe button now and embark on a mythic journey with us. Proteus, another mythological hunter, was punished by Artemis for not honoring the goddess. Maddened, he threw himself into the fire. As a sacrifice to Artemis was brought a certain Melanippus, who fell in love with the priestess of the goddess and indulged in love with her right in the temple. The king of Calydon, the famous Greek hero Aeneas, once forgot about Artemis when he was offering thanksgiving sacrifices to the gods for the harvest. The vengeful goddess unleashed a monstrous boar on Calydon, which is the subject of the mythological story of the Calydonian hunt. Archaic Artemis was associated simultaneously with death and birth, patronized children and women, relieved the suffering of the dying. Traces of the archaic existence of the goddess in the form of a bear are found in a custom that was associated with the temple of Artemis at Broron. Athenian girls who were more than 5 and less than 10 years old stayed in this temple for some time. The little girls were called bears, and they performed certain ceremonies in honor of Artemis during the festival of Brouronius, which was held once every 4 years. The Greek playwright Aeschylus described an Egyptian legend according to which Artemis was believed to be the daughter of Demeter, the patron goddess of agriculture, and supposedly turned into a cat when the Greek gods fled to Egypt. In Asia Minor, in Ephesus, stood the famous temple of Artemis, where people worshipped the many-breasted statue of the goddess. The patroness of childbearing, Artemis of Ephesus, also patronized the Amazons, a mythical nation of warlike women who did not tolerate husbands. Discover the enchanting world of myths. Click subscribe to join our mythology channel on YouTube. Unearth ancient legends, unravel mysteries, and embark on epic journeys through the realms of mythology. Don't miss out on a single tale. Subscribe now and let the myths come alive on your screen. Chronicles of the Past.